Welcome back, everybody. With the kids heading back to class, they're also heading back to the sports fields, the rinks. Would you know what to do if your child suffers a concussion? And how do you know if it is a concussion? Dr. Seetharama is here from Hartford Healthcare Rehabilitation Network. We're so glad to have you here this morning. Thank you for coming in, Doctor.
Thank you for having me.
You know, I think, we hear this a lot. A lot of parents have kids who play sports or just are active, and they get a hard hit in the head, and you think, okay, they seem okay, but are they? What exactly is a concussion? What happens to the brain?
So imagine Jell-O in a bowl.
Okay.
And the Jell-O is your brain.
Yep.
And you shake it in the bowl. That's exactly what a concussion is. So
your
when
brain is being shaken.
Shaken inside the skull cavity. So it was a very good question. So when a child gets a hit, whether it's an indirect hit or a direct hit, in John Madden's words, when in doubt, take them out.
Yeah.
Because you can get instant symptoms like headaches, dizziness, they get dazed, but you can also have delayed effects. So they might come out and say, I have no symptoms at all. By the end of the game, they're going to have symptoms. By the time they get home, they're having severe headaches.
That's a really good point. I didn't even know that it could happen later. So they may think, I'm fine, put me back in, and then suddenly, something's wrong. Pay attention to that.
Yeah, and those kids always have prolonged recoveries.
Really? So that's actually a worst case. That's the worst case scenario of a concussion. If it comes out later, you're probably going to have a longer time dealing with it.
Absolutely.
What are some of the other symptoms you might have? Like, what generally happens to a kid? Do they go down? Do they black out? If, they say my bell's been rung, that expression.
So this was the problem. In early 2000, the definition of a concussion was loss of consciousness.
Okay.
But now we find out only about 5% of the kids have loss of consciousness.
Oh, wow.
It is all just getting dazed and dinged, like you call it. So what we tell parents and coaches is, first 24 hours, watch for red flags, like severe persistent headaches, change in mental status, nausea, vomiting. You need to take them to the emergency room in that case. Otherwise, if they're having low-grade headaches, you wait 48 to 72 hours and then come to a clinic like ours or to your pediatrician, especially if the kid is not able to go to school.
I have a hockey player at home who said he was seeing lights or something. Is that another sign too? We took him to the ER and they determined, not through testing, because they said, you know what, if we do the test, it's actually potentially worse than the concussion will be. And that's another thing parents have to deal with. But that's another symptom as well, right? You think you're seeing lights or seeing something? So
you can have physical symptoms, like everybody talks about headaches, but now we are talking more about vestibular ocular issues. The sideline testings don't cover it now, so we are starting to do some new testing called King-Devick's test that checks vision and where you are in space. So these are the things: double vision, blurred vision, dizzy and dazed. Those are important symptoms. They might not have any headaches. So those are important signs, and they need to be teased out because there's a special treatment for it. We have an ocular specialist who is attached with our concussion clinic who treats these kids. Quickly, I had a kid who was skating, fell backwards, hit the back of her head where all the visual nerves come in. She was fabulous on our impact test. She scored high normal scores, but visually she could not use her Google Chrome in school. She was not able to read. So we put her through some visual exercises and training, and I'm glad to say she's going to go back to full-time school without any modifications starting this end of August.
Fantastic. So if people go through this, there is a place they can go. We want to put that information up. Tell us again about where they would go here. Hartford Hospital is having this family health center.
Yes, so we are having a little conference on September 29th. It's an evening event where my trainers and myself will be doing a presentation on concussions and what we do to help treat concussions. The most important thing that you need to know about our clinic is we treat high school and pre-adolescent kids. Our goal is to get kids back into school. That is our focus, because less than 3% go to college on a scholarship to play sports. Less kids go into professional sports.
We need our brains to work. Yeah, absolutely.
We need these kids to get educated.
Well, and a lot of parents are going to be interested in your information, so we're going to put that link on our website, NBCConnecticut.com. You can check it out. Thank you so much, Doctor, for coming in.
Thank you very much for having me.
All right.